Hello, my name's Michelle. I wanted to make another video to tell you about washable menstrual products. Here's my little sign, something I've been wanting to do for a while. So what I'm going to cover in this video is a little bit why you might want to use washable menstrual products. I'll show you a few types and styles. There's lots of other products that are available. I'll talk a bit about pads and about period undies and about menstrual cups, and just briefly on a bit of use and care, so that if you've never used them before, you've got some ideas of how you might go about using those. I do want to also say that particularly when it comes to the pads, this information is relevant also to people who have some light bladder leakage or a bit of urinary incontinence. 1 in 3 women who've had a baby will have some urinary incontinence. So if you're using disposable pads for that at the moment too, these might be an option for you too. I will also say that if you have some mild urinary incontinence, I would suggest you talk to your doctor or your local continence nurse, or if you're in Australia, you can call the Continence Helpline, which is 1-800-33-0066, because sometimes there are some really simple things you can do to fix that if you leak when you laugh or cough or jump on the trampoline. That's all I'm going to say about incontinence. We'll move on to the washable menstrual products. So where are we going to start? We'll start with the why. Is my other sign. Here are all the reasons why you might want to use washable menstrual products. We'll start with health. So disposable products might be made with cotton or with wood pulp. They might be bleached. Maybe there's glue and plastics. Maybe there's chemicals like dioxins in those products. If you would like to see what it's like to have your period without having those chemicals in or on your body, that might be a good thing to try. Some people do find that they have shorter, lighter, less painful periods when they're using the washable menstrual products. Some people have less issues with thrush because you can be using pads that are all cotton, for example, so they're a bit more breathable than the disposable things that might have a plastic sort of layer in them. So you don't know until you try. You might want to have a go at these, use it for a few cycles and see what happens for you. So health. Ease. Super easy. Once you get the hang of it, you can take your menstrual cup or your pads with you, or your period undies when you're traveling, when you're camping, when you're just going to other people's places. It's really not so hard to deal with. If you're using your pads, you're going to be soaking them as soon as you can in cold water. They might need another little rinse and then pop it in the wash whenever you're going to be washing your clothes. It's really not so hard. Waste. This was the start of my journey. I was trying to reduce the waste that I was creating in my life. And then one month I just thought, I am making all this rubbish every single month. It goes to landfill. The tampons or the pads go to landfill. Don't flush them. If you flush them away, they'll just clog up the plumbing, or they'll be taken out and put into landfill in the end. And of course, not just the products, but all the packaging, the plastic packaging that goes with them. The sanitary disposal bins that are in public places are using lots of chemicals. So there's all this energy and all this waste that goes into creating disposable products for us to use. And you might use 12,000 pads or tampons in a whole lifetime. That's a lot. If you're using cloth pads that are made from all cotton, you can compost them when you're finished with them, or if they've got a bit tatty around the edges. If you are using a menstrual cup, or if you're using pads as well, you might even want to take the soak water with a bit of water in it and put it on the garden. We go out and buy bags of blood and bone to give our garden some extra fertility, but you're probably producing some that you could use at home already. So lots of things that we can do to reduce waste. And last but not least, save bucket loads of money. Lots of different estimates out there on what it might cost to buy those 12,000 menstrual products in your lifetime, but it's thousands of dollars for sure. What could you do with that money? And certainly there are some awesome companies out there who donate some of their profits to women overseas who aren't able to go to school or to work because they don't have easy access to feminine hygiene products. So there's lots of awesome things you can do with that extra money. One brand of washable pads that I was looking at said that it might cost you between $90 and $180 to get set up with a stash for your monthly period. That will pay itself off within a year of buying disposable products. And those products will easily last 5 years. I have some that I got 20 years ago that I'm still using. Those that got a bit tatty at the edges, I'm just stitching it up and maybe putting a fresh layer on top so they're good as new. Keep going. And they'll be right to compost when they finally have worn out completely. Okay, onto some types and styles. We'll start with pads. I've got a few here to show you. Voila. So like any kind of disposable ones, you'll find different sizes. There might be some very thin panty liners. This one's an organic cotton one. It's a bit fancy. It's a regular size. And all of these have a snap. So you're putting it in your undies and then that's holding it in place. There's a longer sort of heavy flow or nighttime one. What's awesome about this is if you're out and about and you need to change a pad, then you can just fold it in on itself and snap it. And you've got a little parcel that you can put in a plastic bag, or maybe you've got a pouch for the purpose. This is just an easy one that I made with some umbrella material. Pop it in the purse till you get home. And like anything that's got blood stain on it, you want to soak it in cold water as quick as you can, as soon as you can. And it turns out that blood is actually thicker than water. So if this is the side that's stained, pop it like that in a tub or a bucket or something, and the blood will fall out. It just works better. 20 years of experience works better than if you put it the other way around. So that's one little set there. Here's another set. These are so soft. I'm sorry you can't feel them. Flannelette with toweling inside. So there's a thinner one. And that's a regular. That would be good for most people most of the time. There's a longer nighttime one so that if you're lying down, you're catching any drips. And again, they've all got the press studs to hold it in place. They can sometimes slip a little bit forwards and back. So if you might want to choose undies that are a little bit on the tighter side, that have good elastic about them, so they stay in place for you. So here's some others that are kind of a little bit bulkier, but good if you are more of a heavy bleeder. So similar design, we've got the press studs there, but this is a trifold, folds in 3. So this layer is 3 layers of flannelette, and so you could use it just like that, nice and thin. But if need be, you can pop in this layer of toweling and then fold it up. It's ready to go. What I like about this sort of system, in a cold place like Tasmania, you're taking it all apart and it's easy to dry in the middle of winter because everything's a bit thinner, as opposed to these ones that are sort of all in one. They're just a bit thicker. It takes a little bit longer to dry on the line, but personal preference. So such an easy design. I got in and made some of those for myself. So you might recognize this as old man flannelette pajamas from the op shop. 3 layers of flannelette. Top one's just got some seams down here to fit the flaps in. You can just use press studs that you sew on or that you punch in. This is a plastic press stud kit. And same on the inside, just got an extra layer of toweling to use if you want or if you don't have to. And the whole thing folds in 3. Press stud holds it in place like that. So same nighttime long, same design, optional toweling inside. And this is op shop flannelette sheet. So that's some different styles of pads. You can also get ones that have a pocket of sorts, like the main part of the pad is a pocket and then you put as many layers inside as you want. There'll be other designs out there too. Go and have a look and see what you can find. If you know how to sew, or you know someone who does, or you're willing to learn, super easy to make things. This one, I've showed you how simple that is. I'm involved with the Reseed Centre in Penguin in northwest Tasmania, and we run workshops, or we host workshops on making washable pads. Super easy. Heather, who's running those, likes to use a button and a buttonhole, because wherever you are, you lose a button, you can always find another button to sew on. Good for people all around the world. Just briefly about period undies. So my friend Heather made these for me. And it's the same idea, but the toweling or the absorbable material you've got is just sewn into the undies, so it's not going anywhere. She's made a design that means the top layer is a bit of a pocket, so you could put more absorbent things in there if you wanted to. Same deal, when you finish, take them off, soak them, wash them in the machine. There's plenty of different commercial ones available. Okay, menstrual cups. So I've got a couple here. This is a latex one. Latex is a natural sort of rubber. Occasionally people have a latex allergy, so if you did, this wouldn't be good for you. This one is a silicone one. So you use it in the same way as you would a tampon. Sounds easy, takes a little bit of getting used to. It's a matter of folding it up and inserting it. And then once it's in, when you let it go, it opens up, and you need to make sure, a little twist can make sure that it's opened up. Catches your menstrual flow. When it's time to take it out, you get to know your anatomy a bit better. And the stem is just for grabbing onto. There are some little tiny holes in here that mean that it's not a suction cup, and allows you to pull it out. Can help to break the seal towards the end as well. Otherwise, you might end up with a very surprised face. Learning how to use this first month, you might notice it. Second month, it's a bit easier. Third month, you wouldn't even know it's there. People might find it easier to learn to put it in the shower or maybe in the toilet. Again, just something that you get good at. Empty the blood into the toilet, wash the cup. It's as easy as that. Wash it with water, wash it with a very gentle soap. You can even boil these. It's silicone. So find a way to make it clean, use it again. Simple. So I think that's it. There are so many reasons you might want to have a go at using washable menstrual products. If any of these appeal to you, have a go. If you know how to sew, look for instructions on the internet, or just have a go and make some yourself. It's really not very hard. Now, I want to dedicate this to Angela. 15 years ago, I met the wonderful Angela, who was also interested in reducing her waste and thinking about the impact of every one of her purchases and decisions in life. And she found out about washable menstrual products and went, why doesn't everybody know about this? And she and I made a bit of a pledge that we would tell people. So here I am doing a video and putting it on the internet. So if you're watching this, Ange, it's lovely to touch base with you again. And I hope all is going well. That's all from me. Take care. Bye for now.